When you start your own company, all you're doing is learning. Learning how to start your business, learning what services you want to provide, learning how you want to pitch to clients, learning how to set up certain technology processes. I mean, it doesn't stop. It's one thing after the other after the other. With that being the case, I completely understand why some people are strong at being an entrepreneur and why other people just aren't. Because you have to have a stamina when you're learning things day after day after day. You have to strengthen this muscle inside you to approach problems, working on learning them from the ground up over and over again. Let's dive into the process of learning and what's actually happening during the emotional roller coaster of understanding something new from the ground up. There's something called the Kruger Effect, which at a high level is a psychological bias that you can have towards your ability to understand how much you know something and your confidence around it. So let's say you're learning chess, right? And maybe you've played a couple games and all of a sudden you've gone from not knowing anything to knowing how to play. All of a sudden you get this level of confidence to say, hey, I'm doing pretty good at this. I experienced this with golfing. I was really bad. Then I was able to hit like 3 or 4 balls and it felt so good. And then it just went downhill, which is what happens because as you start to dig more into a topic, you start to realize how much you don't know. And that confidence level can dip way down. Now, sometimes this is where people stop learning. They got really excited, they thought they knew a ton, then they started to learn more about the particular topic and realize they don't know anything at all and they can't move forward. But that's not where you should stop. What you need to keep doing is going up in that trajectory until you start to understand and be enlightened at that topic. Until you get to a phase where you understand the piece of information, you can talk about it, you are also aware of what you still don't know and what you need to still learn. Let me throw the visual on the screen so you can actually see what this looks like if you're a visual learner like me. Here we go. All right, let's take a look at this graph here. So on the y-axis, we have your level of confidence. On the x-axis, we have the level of wisdom that you have. Now, as you can see in the beginning, the less amount of wisdom that you have, the more confidence that you've had. And in this particular graph, they call it the peak of Mount Stupid, meaning that you're overly confident to your level of knowledge. From there, the more you start to learn, it dips really quickly into a valley of despair where at this case you probably think, oh my god, I'm so stupid, I don't even know what this is, I don't understand how all of these pieces fit together. That is normal. That's part of learning something. Then as you start to increase the amount of wisdom or knowledge that you have, you go into the slope of enlightenment section, which essentially is saying, oh, I see how all of this is coming together, until you get to the plateau of sustainability, where essentially you know a topic and you have a rational level of knowledge to the confidence that you have. I first learned about the Dunning-Kruger effect when I was in code school. And in code school, we had 12 weeks to learn full stack web development. To say I was out of my depth, I think is generous. I found that learning how to code and learning how to be a developer was one of the hardest things I've done in my life because I literally had to learn it from the ground up. And I had the same exact experience. In that first moment of making my own website, learning HTML, learning CSS, man, I was so confident. I was really excited. And that's actually at the moment that I applied to code school. I'm quite grateful that was the moment I decided to make the leap because immediately once I jumped into code school and started learning JavaScript, I went into that valley of despair. I did not know what I was doing. I did not know how I was going to get through those 12 weeks. I felt so stupid, and imposter syndrome was really, really real. And at this time, I had to lean on my fellow peers within the program to really get through it. Luckily, I had a fantastic mentor. What's up, Kate? And I was able to just take it step by step until I had a better foundation under my feet. Now, the slope of enlightenment, I think, took at least 6 months in being a technologist to really feel like I was getting there and I was getting the hang of things, especially within technology. The more that you know, there's just this wide range of topics that you could learn about, and you just realize how small your knowledge is in comparison to everything that you're learning. But eventually, over time, within a year, 2 years, I started to get to that state of maintenance where I knew I didn't know different things, but I had the tools to be able to gather them on the topics, and it made learning technology a lot easier. It made just being a technologist a lot more enjoyable. I relate to this deeply because in starting my own business, I am learning all of these different skills, and it's really tricky. Learning how to brand my own website, brand myself as a consultant, that is difficult, and I've had to lean on a lot of different people for help and understanding. Learning how to record videos, edit videos, make content make sense, see what actually engages listeners is a whole other can of worms. Then we get into, all right, what does your life look like? How do you time manage? It's just a whole domino effect of learning. The good thing is I'm a very curious person, and so I'm really happier than I've ever been in my life. Just learning these skills day by day, step by step, is such joy. I'll be back tomorrow to talk about the specific things that I'm working on learning and how that's going. Maybe I'll share my screen. Maybe I'll talk about things in a more personal lens. Who knows? Stay tuned. And until then, have an absolutely fantastic day. Bye.